Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another Marvel Champions live stream. Today we are continuing on in the hero spotlight of Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. So last week we did the justice and aggression game. Yeah. So now we have leadership and protection. And so excited to dive in. We're going to start with protection because no, that's what I wanted to start with. Hey, Josh, how's it going? The witchy woman. That is absolutely correct. She is just so incredibly fun. She's just so much fun to play because she has all this manipulation of boost icons on these cards, and so based on she has the ability to redraw them, and then a lot of her kit like kind of dives into manipulating the boost icons or having different effects based on how many boost icons are shown, and so it's just an incredibly fun type of game to play. How was everyone's weekend? I had a good weekend. We went to Indianapolis to visit, or we went to a wedding. So one of my friends from grad school got married, and so it was cool to go see all of them again. I hadn't seen them in a while, and then we got to stay with some friends, and so that was really great. It was fun. Enjoyed seeing all of them again. The reception was at the Indianapolis Zoo and in like their dolphin exhibit, and you could like walk under, or like there's like a tunnel that you could walk in and dolphins were like swimming around you. It was crazy. It was so very cool. And so I love aquariums. That's just one of the things about me, is that I love like water animals and everything. So I was kind of over the moon when I was there. It was just a ton of fun. Let's dive into green. Let's see what happens with green. First off, before we do that, let's go ahead and find a modular set that we want to be running against. Let's go ahead and just grab this one. Not Hydra Assault. um, we could go Legions of Hell. We haven't tried Legions of Hell in a while. Let's do Legions of Hell. That's the one where they steal your allies from you, make them undead. I love aquariums too. That sounds it was crazy. Yeah, I'm right next to Newport Aquarium now, which is it's Cincinnati's aquarium quote, but it's in northern Kentucky. And I've been a couple times, and I went when I was a child because I grew up maybe an hour from Newport, and so I really want to go back. They do like grown up nights, like or like where they will like kind of close it off after hours. They'll have breweries and everything come in. They did that at the zoo here, which my wife was able to attend, and that was just a ton of fun. But yeah. Alrighty. Okay, so with the protection build, I was kind of thinking that I wanted to build into a flow like water type of build, especially because she's not necessarily the best defender, but she can, because of her manipulation of the encounter deck and the boost icons where you can redraw and change out what you get, she has the ability to pretty much make sure, or at least increase her ability to mitigate damage coming in. And so I wanted to try a flow like water, and mainly I wanted to try the new resource card that we got in Mutant Genesis, Defensive Energy. So whenever you would spend this card to play a defense event, you get to draw one card, which just kind of helps out that economy. If you pair this with like an unflappable, then you're drawing two cards, and then you replenish your hand, right? So defensive energy plus the defense event, which is probably only going to be one cost, is going to be two cards out of your hand, and then get to draw right back up to the full hand size of 5 or 6 if you have Sorcerer Supreme out there. And so I wanted to try it. I also I've never really played Scarlet Witch green. Which is, I know, shocking to say, right? Like I absolutely love the protection aspect, but I was just kind of like looking back at some of my plays, and I really have not played her a ton in green. But I do think that she works fairly well, mainly because she does have pretty good threat mitigation, and she can do that threat mitigation on side schemes, and so that helps with the weaknesses that protection provides. And so sounds like we're gonna do that. Okay, first thing we're going to grab the cards that we always want to be throwing in our Mystic decks. That's going to be Sorcerer Supreme and Spiritual Meditation. Because we have the ability, Wanda has the ability with the Chaos Magic card, I always like to run some like Avengers Mansions and Quinn Carriers, because we can get those out for the relatively low cost of just discarding cards from the encounter deck if we are lucky enough to draw those in the same hand. So let's go ahead and find, I literally just forgot what I said. Sorcerer Supreme, right? Should be right there, right there. Perfect. So Sorcerer Supreme, Spiritual Meditation. We'll grab the other 2 copies of Spiritual Meditation, and Quinn Carrier is critical here. So whenever I'm building a protection deck, if I have to choose between Quinn Carrier or Helicarrier or X-Jet and Helicarrier, you go with the Quinn Carrier or the X-Jet, because that can be used on the villain's turn and pay for the defense events. So whereas Helicarrier can only be used during the player phase. And so if you're running multiplayer, typically I lean towards letting the protection player have the resource generator, and then everyone else can run like the Helicarriers and everything. So we'll definitely run Quinn Carrier. And what I said, Spiritual Meditation. It really hasn't been, right? It hasn't been. Where are my Spiritual Meditations? It feels like forever since I've played, but it really hasn't been. It's just been, I've been pretty busy. And so like the same amount of time has passed between streams, but for whatever reason, it just feels like it's been a long time. Interesting. Now we get to go search. Are you going to play Mojo Mania on stream when it is released? Hey, Lunacy. Yes, I am. So, kind of an update for the timeline, that what that looks like is, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put this up to the community to see what they want to see. But I am not going to be able to stream this weekend. So I won't be able to do a release day unboxing and playthrough of Storm and Wolverine or Mojo, which they are coming out on Friday, at least in the United States. And so I plan on, depending on when I get back on Monday, I'm hoping to be able to jump on an evening stream on Monday and then follow up Tuesday and Wednesday. And then I'm out again. Again, a lot of moving parts in my life right now, but so I was planning on doing the Wolverine and Storm hero previews at the beginning of next week once I get those, and then doing Mojo when I get back, so in like 2 weeks. And so that kind of gives people time to play through Mojo, and then we can play the different heroes. But I guess like that was an assumption. I guess I'll put that up on YouTube as a poll to see if people want to see the hero spotlights next week, or they want to see the Mojo run through. So either way, we will get the new content out early next week. I'm excited because all of it looks really, really cool. I'm still looking for it. Spiritual Meditation. Those were in my R's. And then I do enjoy running the Avengers Mansion here, just because of the same reason that we like to run the Quinn Carriers for that Chaos Magic. So that's 2, 4, 6 cards that are pretty much set in my Wanda decks. I look to take those out, but really these are cards that pretty much go in every single one of her decks. And so we'll start there. Let's flip back to our green. Boom. And yeah, alrighty. So let's start building out our money here. So I think we do want to run the doubles. Let's actually just grab the doubles, and then we can look to play or take them out, because protection is one of those that you can argue you don't necessarily need doubles depending on your build. Can't wait to get it. I'm just finishing up Mutant Genesis on Magneto. Oh my gosh, Magneto is crazy. How are you enjoying Magneto? Because he can be so cool. He's a really good scenario. I think that they really nailed him as a capstone villain, but he can be brutal. So I'm doing defensive energy. Get those. He's tough, but very fun. Yeah, he is though, and totally agree with you on the tough part. He can be brutal, um, but he is crazy. He's crazy. Who are you playing through? Who are you playing through it with? Yeah, we're gonna grab defensive, desperate defense. That's probably my favorite defense event. So simple and yet so good. Um, let's go ahead and put money up here. Well, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We want unflappable. Cyclops protection, build heavy on allies. Nice. I like Cyclops protection a lot more than I thought. Like, I really like the mutant protectors card. I thought that was a really cool design. Shake a roll. Okay, so unflappable. There are a couple other cards we may want to run hard to ignore, but that may be a little bit overkill on the threat mitigation, especially if we are yeah, especially because she has all those. She has a 2 thwart. She has the chaos magic, or not the chaos magic. I'm sorry, the hex bolt that removes a lot of threat. So yeah, they had Mojo out in your FLGS a few weeks ago, and you picked it up. Really? Oh, it's multiplayer only. I didn't realize that. Huh. Sleeve gen looked through it, but have not ran it yet. That'd be a little disappointing, but I would definitely run through it two-handed. I'd just go with Storm Wolverine and just see what happens. Alrighty, let's grab an armored vest, because now I'm thinking, how are we going to make sure that we mitigate all that damage coming in, because we're kind of building around wanting to not take any damage. So when we're defending, so how are we going to do that? And that's going to be armored vest. That bumps us up 50% on our defense. Hey, that's a dude. Loving your Marvel Champions content. Which X-Men have you found to be the best suited for true solo? Ooh, Cyclops. Cyclops definitely is probably the best for true solo, just because when I'm thinking about who is best at true solo, I guess, yeah, Cyclops, because he has answers to everything, because he can include any ally from across the 4 aspects in his deck, X-Men ally, that he can build into the encounter and kind of make sure that he's going to be fine with whatever is thrown his way. Although I think Shadowcat is also just absurdly good. Shadowcat is really, really good solo as well, because we can do, or she can do, kind of the perfect defense build, and she has just a really strong kit. So you could run it solo, but it's geared for 4 players. Wow. Okay. Fodder would say Shadowcat, she can get away with no damage pretty much the whole game. Yeah, it's Shadowcat is very strong in solo play. The reason I jumped to Cyclops is I think Shadowcat is better, but I think Cyclops, you can take a specific deck and run it against and make minor tweaks. Kitty for you as well. Shadowcat Surprise gives. Oh yeah, Shadowcat Surprise is really good. And then what's her defense card? Forgot her defense card. The 0 cost, where if you're in phased, you get to draw 2 cards. That card is dumb. Like, that card is so incredibly good and just crazy. Let's grab an electrostatic armor. We got to do damage somehow. Although the electrostatic armor, where we do damage there. You know what? Scarlet Witch has a lot of damage. right? So the electrostatic armor is slow damage, whereas Scarlet Witch, we can really do a ton of damage. So let's go ahead and grab it, but we'll put that on the chopping block if we need to. Quick shift, yes, that card is dumb. In a very good way. We're also going to grab a couple energy barriers because I love energy barriers. Yeah, quick shift is so incredibly good because you're not going to take damage from the attack because you are defending when you're unfazed, and then you get to draw 2 cards. Beautiful. It is so incredibly good. We're gonna grab the Night Nurse just because there is a good amount of stun and confuse in this deck, and so the night, well, actually, is there? I'm like I'm in Magneto mode. I'm like, there's a lot of stun and confused, but there actually there is a little bit. Let's go ahead. You know what? We're gonna not grab Night Nurse because we need more defense events. That's what we need. Let's go sidestep. I love sidestep. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Preemptive strike. Preemptive strike for Wanda is incredibly good because she again can manipulate those boost icons, and so this one cancels those boost icons and deals damage. So not only do we want to just like negate large icons, if we draw like a 0 boost and we have preemptive strike in our hand, we can redraw that into maybe a 2 or a 3 and get even more damage out of it. So preemptive strike is going to be solid. Powerful Punch is so interesting. We're not going to run it, but it is an interesting card. I hope it's not just 4 players, Mojo. It'd be a little sad. But, I mean, that's what the scenario packs are there for, is to make weird things happen. And so, oh, if it is, I'm really excited for Con of Heroes then. Is everyone going to Con of Heroes? Everyone in the chat going to Con of Heroes? Please tell me yes. Yeah, preemptive strikes. So that's 6 defense events. Wanda doesn't have... She has Magical Shield, which will be a good upgrade to get onto the table. But we do want a little bit more defense events. We got 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 5 spots. We have no allies yet. So we do need to think about the ally situation a little bit. But I do want to see if I can grab 1 or 2 more defense events. Maybe Jump Flip. Jump Flip could be good. Never Back Down is always interesting. I am going to take Never Back Down. I think Never Back Down kind of is a little bit anti-synergistic with the defense, where we want to be taking these attacks so that we can trigger everything. But Never Back Down against Brotherhood is going to be really solid because all of them have really bad things that happen when they attack. So I think Never Back Down, giving us that ability to stun, could be pretty solid. So let's grab 2 copies of that. Yes, Josh, yes. Dude, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm excited. Okay, so that's gonna give us 2, 4, 6, 8 defense events. That's probably good enough. So at 8, that is 20% of our deck, right? So yeah, because 5 times 8, yeah, is 20% of our deck, meaning that we're probably going to see at least one of these in our hand every turn. So if we don't, then we don't, but we have other ways to manipulate it at that point. But I feel like 8 is probably a good choice here. If we do this, the only other question is, do we want to grab a Flow Like Water? And my guess is probably yes at that point. Let's go ahead and grab a Flow Like Water. Flow Like Water does a damage each time you play a defense event. What does your duplicate storage look like? So basically what happens is I have 1 copy of every single card in our binder here. And then over here I have all of the aspect cards sorted by they're alphabetical. So here are all the A cards. So if I know I need electrostatic armor, I just go to the E's and I just drop all of the dupes in here. So like I think we have a ton of all for ones, or we have a lot of Avenger mansions. They're just all kind of in here. At one point, I told myself that I was going to organize all of these by alphabetical, and then I was just like, that's insane. I can just thumb through them and find them pretty easily. Okay. So that's flow like water. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. Oh geez, we're over. We are over, and we haven't even looked at allies. What are we doing with our lives? Spiritual meditation works. We can. I am okay running up to like a 43 card deck with spiritual meditation. It kind of dilutes the power of spiritual meditation a little bit, but that's fine. We may not need an armored vest. Nah, we'll take an armored vest. All aspects mixed alphabetical. You are insane. That is true. I am very insane. Is Con of Heroes worth traveling to? 100%. I would agree with Josh. It is an absolute, like, it's phenomenal. I would highly recommend that you travel there. It's 100 people that just love Marvel Champions, are like just as passionate as we are about the game, and it is so much fun because we can just you just sit down at a table, play a game. They're running events, they have giveaways. It, like, after the hall closed, people go back to the hotel. There's a hotel attached to it, so you don't even have to get like a car, or you don't have to drive, and just walk back. Incredibly fun. Yeah, it's highly recommend that you go. I hope to see you there. Let's look at our, thinking we probably wanted Jocasta. I just love Jocasta. She allows us to go grab a defense event. Let's find a Victor. I want to probably grab Ironheart. Ironheart's just really good. But again, like, in this type of protection build, we don't necessarily want chump blockers because we want to be defending so that we can trigger all of our upgrades. And so, like, Clea kind of goes against that. It helps out with some situations, like if you draw an assault or something like that. But really, these cards, like Victor is excellent at blocking minions, and that's kind of where those defense these strategies can kind of break down, is if you get flooded with minions. Rock Slide is also really good for that. And we actually, Rock Slide. Brother Voodoo, actually I love Brother Voodoo here, because Brother Voodoo can go grab us like a Chaos Magic or a something like that. Let's grab Rock Slide, and then let's figure out what we need to cut out of our lives. I drove 12 hours to get there, and you didn't regret it. Josh knows this story, but I, for whatever reason, I typically plan a lot. Like I'm just, in by my nature, a planner. But at that time, I was still working my full-time job. I was doing there's just a lot going on, and I knew Con of Heroes was coming up, and I think I just decided that I was going to drive up like that Friday. And I looked, Josh and I live, I don't know, within 3 hours of each other, and like I looked on Wednesday and I was like, that's like a 11-hour drive. I did not like realize, because I'm just really bad at geography, how far it was. And so I drove halfway on Thursday and spent the night in like Chicago or something. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is 27 cards, which I'm okay with. We definitely want our doubles. We got enough stuff, especially in Scarlet Witch's kit. She's got a lot of two costers in there, so the doubles are pretty crucial here. I like the energy barriers. I like energy barriers. I think they complement the strategy really well. because you can make sure you're not taking any damage. Carpool 2023. I'm down. Let's do it. I'm down. Are you? Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. That'll be fun. Oh yeah, a ton of fun. We can vlog the entire way. um. Hmm. 2, 4, 6, 8. That would put me at a 45 card deck, which I'm okay with in some heroes if they are more upgrade heavy. Scarlet Witch is not that way, and so your deck is not going to get thinned down quick enough. And we want to make sure our deck is small enough to increase the consistency that we're drawing into these defense events. So I'm wondering if we just don't run the energy barriers. Ah, but they're so good. The energy barriers are so good. Let's cut a rock slide. That's 2. That puts us at 28, which is okay, I think. We'll do that. No rock slide. 2 energy barriers. Puts us at a 43 card deck with 3 spiritual meditations. Kind of works out. Hey, Salsa, how's it going? How was your weekend? Did you get to play any Marvel Champions? Oh, it's Scarlet Witch. I'm so excited. She is so incredibly fun to play. Well, we get to start in alter ego form. I did launch my new board game channel that I kind of teased the big channel update when I changed the name to Nelson All Over Cards from the Living Card Gamer. So I launched that channel this weekend, which was a little nerve-wracking, which is kind of funny, but did a top 5 board games video. So that channel is going to have 1 to 2 videos a week. So it's going to be a mix of board game topics and then interviews. And so I've already recorded like 4 or 5 interviews, and so those are coming out over the next couple weeks, and so I'm excited about that. That was a ton of fun. Not Marvel Champions, but you got to play some Marvel Dice Throne, Seven Wonders Architects, and other board games at the club. That's awesome. I did a teach of Seven Wonders Architect. That's a fun one. I like it. I like how chill it is. Like, it feels a very relaxing game, I guess, maybe. And then Marvel Dice Throne is sick. Who did you get to play as in Marvel Dice Throne? I'll get in trouble if those cards are upside down. This time you played Thor. Nice. Yeah, I've only played the Marvel Dice Throne the time that I streamed it here, where I played Black Widow and Captain Marvel, I think. No, Black Panther. I played Black Panther. It's such a cool game. Alrighty, so the Brotherhood strikes. Save the school environment into play. Shuffle the 3 copies, or all of the copies of the main scheme 2A, and attach them under this scheme. Shuffle the villains together without looking, and the top card is of this deck is in play. Deal each player a face down encounter card. If this is an obligation, we'll switch it out. But that's the next. Add the main scheme. Add this card to the victory display. So we're at 1. If we ever get 3, we lose. The first scheme, each ally and minion gains toughness. Let's go. That's awesome. And then we'll shuffle these up. You got to use your Kickstarter Mjolnir? Oh, it's a medal? Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. Do you have a picture of that? I didn't realize that they did that. That's so cool. Alrighty, okay. First up, we got Blob. Blob coming in with 19 hit points. That's a lot of hit points. Toughness, victory 2. And after a Blob attacks and damages a character, stun that character. It's a 2/2. Save the school and also the basketball court has 1. After the villain is defeated, if there are X villains in the victory display, and we're doing 2 this time around, players win the game. Otherwise, deal each player an encounter card, reveal the next villain. Then if the minion is out, then bad things happen. My cat still likes to lay here. Alrighty, so we've got 6 cards. Let's see what we got. Hopefully one of them is... I'm going to take a pick and share it. Nice, thank you. Oh, we got a crest right off the bat with the double. Why do we have a hand cannon? That's not right. they're all red cards, so the last aggression. My last aggression. Oh, and a chaos magic. Let's go. A Hexbolt is interesting. We got 2 desperate defenses that we will mulligan. The Hexbolt, I don't feel like we necessarily need the Hexbolt right now, so let's mulligan this. I'm really hoping that we draw into a Quinn Carrier or a Avengers Mansion, considering we got Chaos Magic here. So we've got Never Back Down, that doesn't work. Jocasta actually does work with Chaos Magic fairly well, and then an Agatha. Okay, this is actually not a horrible, opening hand. We still also have superpower siblings, so we can fish a little bit more. So this is what we're starting with. We have to discard 2 cards first. That may be Agatha and a Never Back Down. Because I want Jocasta. I want these 4 cards. So it kind of hurts to toss Agatha here. Let's do it. We're just going to toss Agatha. I don't necessarily think I'm going to be down in Alter Ego a lot. Spiritual Meditation and a Molecular Decay. We will Spiritual Meditation. We get to draw 2 cards. There's a Genius and a Preemptive Strike, and we'll discard 1 card, which could be a Preemptive Strike, because we have this Molecular Decay apparently. Okay. Well, we got a lot of money all of a sudden. Let's go. Okay. So a Strength is going to pay for a Crest, allowing us to manipulate the icons on a Bullseye card that we flip up. Let's go ahead and flip into Scarlet Witch. Let's Chaos Magic a Jocasta into play. So we discard the top 3 cards of the deck. There's an Assault, an Under Siege, and a Brotherhood Beatdown. When she comes in, she has a response that I can choose a defense event in our discard pile and attach it to her face down. I'm thinking that's going to be Preemptive Strike. You know what? No, it's going to be Preemptive Strike or Desperate Defense. Let's go Preemptive Strike. That way we can guarantee that we will get a perfect defense, which doesn't matter as much right now. So actually, let's go Desperate Defense. Desperate Defense allows us to stand up if we have a perfect defend, and we don't have our Unflappable yet, which is kind of what I want to make sure we have before we pull maybe these Preemptive Strikes. Scarlet Witch is just gonna thwart 2 off of here. Jocasta will deal a damage here to knock off the Tough. And the one thing that we do need to be careful about is because we are playing with the... I don't remember what the mod set is. The mod set that can take our allies. This... Oh, actually in Jocasta it's Tough. So we're not gonna do that. Just gonna let her hang out and take a hit. Because we are playing with the one that can steal our allies, that could be kind of an issue. So that Desperate Defense art looks nice. Yeah, it's a... I love the art, but this is one of the promos. So this is one of the promos from Desperate Defense, which if you go to Con of Heroes, they do give out. Yeah, it's a promo. So there's Desperate Defense. There is Self Strike. There's a couple of full art promos. Yeah, so Self Strike is a full art promo. There's a Avengers Assemble. They have a full art promo. And then a couple of the heroes, which I hope they go back to doing that. That was fun. Let's go ahead and toss a Molecular Decay. We'll keep a Genius. We'll draw into a Quicksilver. Okay. A Defensive Energy. 1, 2, 3. Magic Shield. And an Energy Barrier. So, of course, we didn't draw a defense event with our Defensive Energy. Living in Europe. Oh, no. One goes here. Blob is going to attack with a boost card. We will defend with Jocasta. So it's going to be 2+2. And there goes one of our fallen warriors, which is the one that steals our allies away from us. That's going to knock off this tough. Oh, I guess we do have the desperate defense with the defensive energy, but still, I'm okay with that. Deal out the encounter cards. If this is an obligation, we'll reshuffle. It's an advance. Oh. So 2+1. The villain is Toad. We will Scarlet Witch's Crest to reduce that by 1, so it's only going to be 2, just because I don't have anything in my hand that will actually matters if we use the or we don't have anything in our hands like a Hex Bolt or anything that we would want to modify that value at all. Then this card is a Legions of Hell. Place 2 additional threat here for each undead minion in play. If there are no undead minions in play, this card gains Surge. So this surges into Toad. After Toad attacks and damages a character you control, discard 1 random card from your hand. Okay, less excited about that. Huh. And he has toughness. Bummer. Okay, so we have a energy barrier. We have a Quicksilver. I am ready here. So I'm thinking that actually probably the right call here is to get Quicksilver into play. Because we can take out Toad with Quicksilver. That does hurt not being able to play the energy barrier. We can hang on to a desperate energy to pay for this desperate defense, which I hope is enough. Yeah, we'll probably do that. I need to get rid of Toad. Toad is gonna kill us if we keep discarding random cards from our hand. I always thought that Legions of Hell should have been more Legion-y. There's only 2 minions in it. Yeah, and I think they were trying to hope that they're gonna steal some of these other minions because then they become undead minions, but just didn't work. Okay, so let's go a Genius, Magic Shield, Energy Barrier to play Quicksilver. He has a action that we can ready him once per round. Let's go ahead and attack to knock this tough off. We'll ready and attack to deal 2 damage, and then he'll take Quicksilver at that point, has 2 consequential. And then we'll have Scarlet Witch just finish Toad off. Then we have a defensive energy for the desperate defense here, and hopefully that will be good enough. We'll see. So let's stand up. Give me the Sorcerer Supreme. There's an energy, Spiritual Meditation, Magic Shield, and another defensive energy. Wow, not the best hand. Hey, Siler's Dream. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Start by going here. Blob is going to attack for 2, and we are going to play a defensive energy to play this desperate defense, and we'll defend for 4. Flip up into a 1. So because we took no damage, we get to ready defensive energy when you spin this card. So I guess when I spend it, I got to pull it up, and so there you go. Our bad card is going to be Immovable. When revealed, Blob activates against you. If he's not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Blob minion and reveal him. This is after Blob damages a character, stun that character. So we can preemptive strike this and be fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So when a boost card is turned face up while the villain attacks, so let's go ahead and defend, and we'll play a defensive energy and a preemptive strike. So this boost card is going to be 2. Let's go ahead and Chaos Control and draw a different one. There's 2. I guess it doesn't matter because he is tough, but still, it's kind of fun. So that will be 2 damage back to hit the tough off. When I paid for it with defensive energy, I get to draw a card into desperate defense. Sweet. We got a little bit of a threat problem here. Actually, Quicksilver should have 1 less damage because he was tough when he came in. I need to remember that. That feeling when 4 out of your 5 cards are resource cards, right? It's like, no. Let's go Spiritual Meditation to draw into an... there it is, Unflappable and a Hex Bolt. Let's toss a... let's toss a Magic Shield. Okay. Now we're going to spend an energy to play a Hex Bolt. So discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. So it's a 0, a 1, and a 1. Let's go ahead and redraw the Advance with her Chaos Control. And, okay, so 2. So I guess Josh, how does this work? Or anybody in the chat, how does this work? Can I remove 2, then remove 2 based on these? But since I have the Crisis icon in play, or is this considered moved out after I've resolved all of these? And so is it a... Do I need to modify this into a +1 or something? And that gives me that ability. Every time that happens, people in Multiply go, was that shuffled correctly? Only a freaking Marvel Champions player understands that's more off. It is. It happens all the time. I don't know why. I don't know how it does. It just happens all the time. I think probably the way that it's worded, I think I have to resolve each one of these at the same time. And so I'm going to Scarlet Witch's Crest this guy to go 2 cards. So I'm going to be drawing 2 cards, and then I'll remove 2 with the Homo Superior. And then I get to draw 2 cards, which is going to be a Victor and a Molecular Decay. We may hang on to that Desperate Defense. That sounds pretty sweet. Let's toss the Molecular Decay for an Unflappable. Let's go. And we got Victor. Legion of Hell is gone. Let's go Jocasta for 2. She'll take 2 consequential damage for that. Quicksilver will hit Blob for 2. 1, 2. We can ready him. I believe your way was correct. Yeah, I think that's how it works. Which is less exciting, but still it makes a lot of sense. Quicksilver will go ahead and hit Blob again for 2. He'll be up to 3 damage. And we're going to hang on to this Desperate Defense just because we've passed a lot. We have 8 defense events, and we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, 7, 8. We have 3 more, and so might as well hang on to it. Victor is going to... We're going to toss Victor, just because I really want Sorcerer Supreme. We're ready. Draw into a Quinn Carrier. That's nice, too. There's the Sorcerer Supreme. Hexbolt. And a Never Back Down. Okay, so we would have been fine, but here we are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm never certain about the timing on all our... Yeah, it is. It can be kind of chaotic. Hey. Pun very much intended. I guess her bolt resolves in sequence of cards drawn. However, they have ruled that you draw all the cards before you resolve anything. So you get to see all 3 of the cards before you get to resolve any of them. And so that's where it gets a little weird. When an ability has more than 1 sentences on text, that ability is resolved 1 sentence at a time. So... Yep, so you discard the top 3 cards in the encounter deck. For each card discarded this way... Yeah, so with that, I would say that it is correct that you can't take threat off of a crisis scheme because it's for each card discarded. So you have to trigger all of them before there is a response to that. Well, then first player, you choose order. You can remove 2 threat, then 2 threat, then draw a card. Yeah. And I guess like the question is you can remove 2 threat, remove 2 threat. Can you remove 2 threat from Legions of Hell and then 2 threat from the main because there is a crisis? I don't know. Starting the villain phase, we got 1 here. Blob is going to attack us. Let's go ahead and we can desperate defense this bad boy. Let's do that. Let's never back down to pay for a desperate defense. So we're defending for 4. He's going to attack for 2. If the villain is Blob, given an additional boost card for this activation. So I'm going to Chaos Control this. So we're going to discard that and reveal this one instead. Exhaust a character you control. So we'll go ahead and exhaust Quicksilver. So that boost happened. We defended for 4 against his 3, so we get to ready. Unflappable trigger, so we get to draw a card into Warp Reality. Sweet. There's a crisis, and crisis was not removed during the resolution of Hexbolt. Yeah, you got to remove the crisis first, right? I know with things like multitasking, a crisis will prevent you from hitting the main scheme because the threat remove is simultaneous. Yes. How is multitasking worded, I guess? So with multitasking, nope, that's mutant protectors. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this card using a mental resource, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. They're worded, yeah, they're not worded in the same way, so I don't know if I can draw a conclusion. That's kind of an interesting. If you can get rid of the side scheme with the crisis icon, then you can remove threat out the main scheme. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. I think I was still okay with the drawing cards. I probably would have done that anyways. But that's really good to know. Thank you all. Our encounter card is going to be Groundswell. Avalanche activates against you. If he's not in play, search encounter deck and discard pile for Avalanche and reveal him. Avalanche comes in with Tough. And after he attacks you, exhaust the character you control. Okay. We're going to be a little... This is going to be kind of a lame turn. We're going to Hexbolt and Warp Reality to play Sorcerer Supreme. We're going to hang on to Quinn Carrier. We also have Avengers Mansion in this deck, and I'm still at a point where I would play that. Let's have Scarlet Witch go ahead and thwart 2 off of the basketball court. We will have Blob attack. I think we probably could get lucky and draw into a defense event. That would get trigger. If not, we'll have Jocasta take it. Avalanche can hit us. We'll exhaust Quicksilver. Okay. Ready, everyone. We'll draw up to 6. Let's go. Molecular Decay. Goodbye. Avalanche. There's Flow Like Water. Brother Voodoo. So 2, 4. There's Mansion. And Spiritual Meditation. Oof. We still have a double in this small deck? I think we do. There's 1... 2. Nope, we've used all of our doubles. Never mind. Okay, so we got 1 here. Blob is going to attack us for 2 plus a boost card. We're actually going to... We're going to go ahead and defend with Scarlet Witch. It's going to be 2 plus 3. Let's redraw that with her ability. Plus 0. Let's go. Okay. So it was a perfect defend. So we will have Unflappable trigger, and we'll get to draw into Electrostatic Armor. Avalanche is going to attack. After Avalanche attacks, you exhaust a character you control. We will have Jocasta block this one. That puts her back into the deck, which is nice. So it's going to be 3. He doesn't have Villainous, so Jocasta dies. And then we will exhaust Quicksilver. Our bad card is going to be Homo Superior. Attach to a minion and give it a tough status card. Otherwise, this card gains Surge. Attach minion gets plus 5 hit points. So I think Does this gain Surge? Attach to a minion and give it a tough status card, otherwise this card gains Surge. So I think we attach, it already has a tough, so I do believe that it does Surge. Because we didn't fulfill the entirety of the bad stuff. The only thing I can find on Holy Heroes is you get to choose the order you resolve them in, which implies to me that it's one at a time. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair, yeah. I like it. So that surges into Hopping Mad. Toad activates against you. If he's not in play, searching counter deck for Toad. Oh, jeez. Y'all, this is sad. I'm scared. So Toad comes in. He is tough. Okay, then. So that happened. We have to kill all of them, I would say. I mean, Blob is very much the lowest priority here. Let's go Spiritual Meditation. Let's see what we got. We got Magic Shield and a Preemptive Strike. Let's toss the Preemptive Strike. We're going to action Ready Quicksilver. We're going to attack to knock this tough off of Avalanche. That kills Quicksilver. Then we are going to go Brother Voodoo. Flow Like Water. Electrostatic Armor. For a Quinn Carrier. And we'll use Quinn Carrier, Avengers, and a Magic Shield to play Molecular Decay. So deal 5 damage to Avalanche. Discard the top 2 cards. So 2, 2. Scarlet Witch's Crest. We'll take this up to a 5, which will kill Avalanche. Oh, gross. Homo Superior will only gain Surge if the preceding otherwise cannot be fulfilled at all. Okay. Otherwise, Homo Superior attaches to a minion already has tough. It will not Surge. Awesome. That makes that a lot better. We're just going to keep it. But for future reference, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Cool. So we got 3. We got an encounter card. We're shuffling up. No whammies. Come on, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. I could really use a defense event at this point. Because Toad is going to hit me for 2. And then we're going to have to discard a random card from your hand. I hate random cards. Got Armor Vest, Hex Bolt, Energy Barrier, Molecular Decay, and a Genius. So we got one more card, actually. And a Never Back Down. Let's go. Okay. So Never Back Down could block Blob. And I feel pretty confident on that, considering we have both Chaos and Scarlet Witch's Crest. So we can do that. If we can avoid using Scarlet Witch's Crest, that'd be good for the Hex Bolt later. So let's try and do that. We've got 1 on the basketball court. Blob is going to attack. We will defend. Use Quinn Carrier for a Never Back Down. So we're defending for 4. 2 plus 1. So perfect defense. So Never Back Down. We get to stun Blob. We will trigger Unflappable to draw a card into Desperate Defense. Toad is going to hit us for 2, which we just take. And then we have to discard a random card from our hand. We got 6 from the top. 6. Oh, no. Ouch, that hurts. Gross. We got 2 bad cards. The first one is Fallen Warrior. Treat the attached ally as an undead minion. When revealed, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an ally. Put that ally into play, engage with you as Fallen Warrior. Victor. So Victor can just... It has a blank text box. So it's a 0/0 minion just out there. So we probably will not worry about Victor too much for this case. Then our second card is going to be Exhaustion. Surge, exhaust your identity card. Joke's on you. I'm already exhausted. The Brotherhood. Each Brotherhood minion gains Quick Strike. And that comes with 5. Okay. I want to play Hex Bolt. So if I can get Hexbolt out, then I can probably draw a card which will allow me to play Energy Barrier too. No, that's not how math works. I'm not even paying for Hexbolt. I think Armored Vest is probably a good. Let's go Desperate Defense and Molecular Decay to play Hexbolt. So we discard the top 3 cards. So we got a 2, that's a card draw. We got a 3, that's actually, yeah, that's nice. And then a 1. So I guess since I can choose which order to resolve them, I don't have to. No, we'll just do this. Okay. So Groundswell, I may bump up to draw another card with Groundswell. Let's do that. Yeah, let's go Scarlet Witch's Crest to change this to a 2. Actually, you know what? We may just redraw that completely. Huh. Yeah. Let's go ahead and redraw the 1 into a 2. Okay, so now we have the ability to take 2 or 3 card draws, but I'm pretty sure I would rather have the tough for Scarlet Witch on Slipping Sanity. Or I could confuse Blob and then roll. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, is confuse Blob and flip down. Just to kind of give myself a little bit of breathing room. I guess, well, actually, no, that does not matter because we're drawing 6 cards either way. So let's keep the tough and draw 2 cards. So we'll draw 2 cards, Magic Shield and Agatha. Well, that actually may make us roll down. And then we will, and we have the 3 to choose. So, Agatha, we will confuse Blob. We'll flip down to Wanda. We can use Superpower Siblings here if we want. I don't think I want to. I think I would rather toss a Magic Shield to play Agatha. We'll use Agatha. We can look at the top 3 cards of our deck. Defensive Energy, Preemptive Strike, and a Preemptive Strike. Add one of those cards to our hand and the rest on the bottom of our deck. So we'll put Defensive Energy at the top. Lowest. Confuse is greater than tough. Yes. I think so. Just the only time that I would make the argument that it's not is in a defensive build like this. When I kind of, well, I don't necessarily have threat handled. But because you can guarantee a perfect defend with tough. And so that could be a reason why. We're going to go a Preemptive Strike to play an Armored Vest to give us a +1. And then we'll hang on to Energy Barrier. So let's go ahead and stand up. Draw into Energy Barrier, Electrostatic Armor, Molecular Decay, Energy, so 2, 4, 5, Spiritual Meditation. We'll go 1 here. Blob is confused. Toad will scheme for 2, so that puts us at 6. Victor will scheme for 0, and then we've got 2 bad cards coming in. Yeah, she does have a lot of good, and drawing Agatha at that point. If I had Agatha on the table, it would always be a confuse because I want to trigger Agatha or Superpower. So, yeah. Brotherhood Beatdown. Okay, so we have Blob. So I am stunned. And then Toad, discard 1 random card from your hand. I hate discarding random cards. From the top, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. Then we've got Pyromaniac. Pyro activates against you if he's not in play. Searching counter deck and discard power for Pyro Minion. We're getting run over. Of course, he's in like the 3-card deck. These minions are hurting us. So we got Pyro who comes in with tough. Actually, and I guess Victor has tough too. Okay. Well, that was kind of fun. Let's go spiritual meditation, draw 2, discard 1. Ooh, Quicksilver right now is actually pretty solid. Yeah, so let's toss a energy barrier. We will spiritual meditation, draw defensive energy and a hex bolt, and we will toss a defensive energy. Let's go ahead and Agatha to look at the top 3. There's a strength. Let's go. Okay, hex bolt and never back down. We're gonna put hex bolt because we have a defensive int on the bottom already, so we can spread it out, spread the love out just a little bit. We'll take strength. We will strengthen energy to pay for Quicksilver, who comes in with tough. We will toss a hex bolt and a electrostatic armor to draw 3 cards because of superpower siblings. Brother Voodoo, flow like water, and a magic shield. Plus, you're super biased towards confused because you love flipping. Yeah, that's true. I always thought confuse the villain as much as possible in solo. I lost too often because of surprise. Oh, it's so bad. Surprise advance is horrendous. Okay. So let's go ahead and flip up to Scarlet Witch. We're in a lot of trouble with threat and everything. Pyro is 1 indirect damage. So Victor is just... We're not going to look at Victor ever again. He's going to hang out there. Priority number 1, I think, is Toad. Can we kill Toad? I don't think we... Well, if we can get Brother Voodoo onto the table, we can kill Toad. If we get Brother Voodoo on the table, we could take care of the Brotherhood. Although we are showing 3 here. Tough decisions, tough decisions. I guess we could... Toad is, after Toad attacks and damages a character you control. Okay, so I can block Toad with Scarlet Witch, meaning that I will be able to trigger everything and I won't have to discard. And then after Pyro attacks, you discard the top 2 cards of each deck. I think I want to get rid of Brotherhood. I think I need to get rid of Brotherhood here. We're going to hang on to Magic Shield. We're going to play Quinn Carrier, Flow Like Water, and Energy Barrier to play Brother Voodoo. So search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. Oh, I forgot Chaos Magic. That would have been smart to hang on to. Oh well. I guess we'll take the Desperate Defense and we'll shuffle. Brother Voodoo comes in with Tough. We're going to toss a Desperate Defense to play a Magic Shield. So when a friendly character would take any amount of damage, discard Magic Shield, prevent 3 of that damage. So that is not a forced interrupt, so that gives us a little bit of breathing room. Let's go Brother Voodoo will thwart. Knock off the Tough. 2 off of here. Quicksilver will... Or I guess Scarlet Witch will thwart here. Quicksilver will thwart, knocking his Tough off here. We will ready Quicksilver, and we'll thwart 1 off of the basketball court. And then he'll take 1 damage. Okay, stand up. See, the problem is if we draw into the cafeteria, or whichever one it is that gives everyone +1 attack, then Victor becomes an issue. And we're not necessarily ready to go face with Blob. Okay, so we'll stand up. We've got Chaos Magic, let's go. Desperate Defense. Magic Shield. Jocasta, okay, so 2/4. Never Back Down. And a Hex Bolt. Let's go. So we'll place a 6th here. Brother is gone, sorry. Blob is stunned. Nothing. Toad is going to attack. We will defend with a Quincarry and a Desperate Defense. So we can... No, with a... see, now I'm trying to think if do I want to never back down, but I think I can kill Toad. So we'll go Desperate Defense. So it's a +2, so we do successfully, so we get to stand up. We get to trigger Unflappable to draw into a Preemptive Strike. Then Pyro is going to attack. After Pyro attacks you, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Oh, two cards left. So we take 2 damage. 1 indirect damage for each icon printed that way. We're at 8. We'll just take that ourselves. That gives Brother Voodoo a reason to... He can thwart, so we'll take 2. But that does give us an extra card. That's not great. Whew, okay. Two cards. The first one being Brother... Oh, no. Avalanche. We exhaust our identity. No, so Toad is here. So Blob, we're stunned. Haha. Pyro, take 2 indirect damage. I'm going to give that to Brother Voodoo. Toad, discard 1 random card from your hand. Bummer. Those are tough. 6. Preemptive Strike. That's fine. Then the next card is Slipping Sanity. Okay, I can exhaust Wanda Maximoff. We're definitely going to flip down. We could discard the top 5 cards. It's only going to be 3. But I feel like if we discard any stars, we progress. I don't want to progress. So we're going to exhaust Wanda and remove Slipping Sanity from the game. But now we can superpower siblings for a dumb amount. Okay, sweet. And we have Agatha. That was actually a fairly good pull for us. Okay. I'm really happy that I made the switch to Expert. I think the games are more interesting. And I just need to realize that I may not win, and that's okay. So let's go Agatha to look at the top 3. Spiritual Meditation, Defensive Energy, and a Desperate Defense. We'll take a Spiritual Meditation. We'll throw a Defensive Energy and a Desperate Defense on the bottom. We'll go Desperate Defense first. We'll go Never Back Down and a Magic Shield. To activate Superpower Siblings, we'll draw 3 cards. Energy Barrier, Hexbolt, Warp Reality, Spiritual Meditation. For Genius, let's go. And a Magic Shield. We'll toss a Warp Reality. Okay. Let's go ahead and flip up to Scarlet Witch. We're going to Genius a Hexbolt. Protect the students. Under Siege. And Dragor. That gives us an acceleration token. Oops. So we got a card draw, a status card, and remove 2 threat. We'll definitely do the remove 2 threat. We may want to Scarlet Witch Crest this card draw into another 2 threat mitigation. That could be pretty solid. We have another Hexbolt actually. So let's go ahead and card draw. Two threat, and then so we'll just go in order. So we'll do this. We'll do 2 threat. We'll go card draw for here. Electrostatic Armor. So now we're looking at Chaos Magicking a Jocasta in. I do want to play another Hexbolt. That would be pretty sweet. Then the Hexbolt will probably draw us a card. The energy... We will... We're going to stun Blob. So we don't have to worry about him yet. Or we could chaos... We don't necessarily need Jocasta out there, so we could Chaos Magic a Hex Bolt instead. But I feel like Chaos Magic and Jocasta is probably the right call. We do have a defensive end. We have Preemptive Strike and a Never Back Down. Hey, no, hey, Karokai, how's it going? How is it going? I feel like my entire table feels slanted. Okay. So we'll go Magic Shield and Electrostatic. I feel like I need to get Electrostatic Armor onto the table. We'll go Magic Shield and Energy Barrier for a Hex Bolt. Discard 3. 0, 3, 2. Let's go. I think I'm maybe okay with this, actually. This is pretty solid for us. That gives us the card draw, which means that we can play Electrostatic Armor. We can confuse Blob just so we can roll down and keep Quicksilver. I mean, we can't roll down this turn because we started in Alter Ego, but roll down next turn with that confuse. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. So 2, we're gonna throw it actually on Pyro. Oh, this is gone. That's a while ago. 3 will confuse. And then 2 is card draw into an Energy Barrier. Sup? You're at work? No. Alrighty, so let us do an Energy Barrier for an Electrostatic Armor. And we're gonna Chaos Magic a Jocasta into play. She comes in tough, which is great. And we get to go find a defense event, which is going to be Preemptive Strike, I believe, or Never Back Down. No, we'll go Preemptive Strike. We'll go attack to kill Pyro. 2 damage on Quicksilver. Brother Voodoo is going to just hang out. We got Jocasta to hang out as well. We will probably just defend against Toad. Just with Scarlet Witch so we can trigger Unflappable. And then if we draw into a surprise attack or something like that, which actually is a card, so if we draw into like an Assault or a Gang Up, then we have a couple of blockers for us. So with that said, we will ready. Molecular Decay, Spiritual Meditation, Preemptive Strike, Spiritual Meditation, Flow Like Water, and Defensive Energy. Okay. So 2 here. Blob is going to attack, but he is stunned. Victor is going to attack for 0. Toad is going to attack for 2. And we will just defend with Scarlet Witch. So he does not deal any damage, meaning that we don't have to discard any cards. We'll trigger Unflappable to roll or to draw into a Molecular Decay. Then we have 1 bad card, which is going to be Mutant Terrorist. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Brotherhood side scheme and reveal it. Gross. If it did not enter play this way, then bad stuff happens, but we've got the Brotherhood side scheme back out. So the Hazard and they all gain Quick Strike. Hex Bolt, more like Hex Broken. I'm in the fridge and work moving stock around with Nelson in your ear. Nice. This comes in with 5. Okay. Okay then. Let's Spiritual Meditation. Draw into Desperate Defense and a Preemptive Strike. We'll toss a Desperate Defense. We'll Spiritual Meditation. Draw into a Hex Bolt. There we go. And a Never Back Down. We'll toss a Preemptive Strike. Quinn Carrier and a Never Back Down will pay for a Hex Bolt. Yeah. So we got a 2, a 2, and a 2. I'm going to just take that right there. We're just going to draw 3 cards. Or, we need to figure out this side scheme, actually, at some point in our lives. Let's go ahead and Scarlet Witch's Crest, take this down to a 1. We'll draw 2 cards, remove 2 threat from this scheme. We got an Energy and an Avenger's Mansion. Interesting. Jocasta will thwart, knocking off her Tough for 2 here. And then we will have Brother Voodoo kill himself to get rid of the last Brotherhood right here. Got a lot of cards. This is tough. We need to figure out how to get threat off of there. I don't think we can, though. We may just lose that. The other thing is we can play an Avenger's Mansion. Let's try that. Let's go Energy, Molecular Decay, and a Preemptive Strike for an Avenger's Mansion. Draw into, give me a Hex Bolt. Oh, it's a Strength. So it looks like we just lose the court, or we could stay up and thwart and keep court. That's probably the right call. It's probably the right call. I don't like that being the right call, but I think that's the right call. Strength will pay for a Flow Like Water. And then Quicksilver will thwart this, and Quicksilver dies. Okay. We're going to toss a Molecular Decay and go ahead and ready. Got 2, 4, 5. That would deck us. We're going to deck either way. So we'll go ahead and draw that. We do know we have a Desperate Defense then. So that decks us. So we get a card. We're going through these decks so very quickly. The other day I was playing Arkham and I had them in your ear while on rapid transit to the club. Nice. That's awesome. Oof. Alrighty. No pressure. Oh, we're going up 2. So we're gonna lose that no matter what. We would have, okay, so instead we did it a little bit backwards, but we had Jocasta over thwart. We had a 5 out there. We had 2. We had Brother Voodoo over thwart, so instead we're gonna have had Quicksilver thwart the 1, and then Brother Voodoo will thwart 2 here, which will keep us there. Okay, sorry about that. Got 2 defensive energies, 2 desperate defenses, so this is pretty solid. Got a Hexful and a Molecular Decay. We're gonna throw 2 here. Blob's gonna swing at us for 2. We're gonna go ahead and defend. We're going to Desperate Energy, a Desperate Defense, so we're at +2. So 5. Attach this card to a minion and give it a tough status card. We're going to redraw that one. So it's going to be 2. So we do successfully defend. We get to draw a card from this card here. We get to ready with Scarlet Witch, trigger Unflappable to draw a card. We have all of our defense events. What is going on? Well, I guess we have kind of thinned out our deck fairly well. Flow Like Water trigger, so we get to hit Blob for 1. Okay. Victor is going to hit us. Toad is going to hit us. We will Defensive Energy a Desperate Defense. So 5, we don't take any damage. We get to draw for Defensive Energy, which is a Brother Voodoo. And then Flow Like Water is going to knock this Tough off. And Electrostatic Armor. So Blob is going to take one more, and Toad is going to take one more. Alrighty. I'll take it. And I guess Victor... No, because it's not a... we're not actually defending. We got 2 bad cards. First one is Gang Up. Of course it is. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks. Okay. So Blob is going to attack us for 2 plus a boost card. We're going to defend, and we're going to use a... Twin Carrier to play Preemptive Strike. So we got, if the villain is Bob, give him an additional boost card for this activation. Oof. So this is going to be 1. We will modify this to 2. And then his additional is 1. So we canceled the 2. And he attacked for 3. We defended for 3. So we are good. So no damage comes in. We deal 2 back because of Preemptive Strike. 1, 2. Electrostatic Armor is 1. And then Flow Like Water is 1. So down to 9. Toad is going to attack. And I think at this point, we'll have Jocasta take it. So that's going to be... Jocasta may need a thwart for us, so we'll just take it. Go 1, 2 on us, and then we'll discard a random card from our hand. It's going to be 5. We roll a 6. 5. No whammies. Never back down. Okay, that's fine. Oh shoot, did I not? I don't have the deck list. I'm sorry, because I built this deck on stream, so I didn't have a chance to throw it up in the chat or on Marvel CDB. But if you're watching on YouTube, I will, after I built it, after this stream, I'll go ahead and throw it in CDB. Then Hopping Mad, Toad activates against you. Of course he does. Oh no. We're at 4. We're rolling down. Without a doubt, we are rolling down. So we'll just take it. 1, 2. Because we need Jocasta to thwart a little bit here. Okay. Tough. Psh. Cards in your hand, right? Cards are overrated, right? So we're gonna reroll a 5 or a 6. Got a 4. Brother Voodoo, that actually is not good at all. Dislike what just happened there. Hey Brant, how you doing? Starting out, Avengers Mansion will draw us a card. Into Energy, okay, that helps. Energy will pay for a Hex Bolt. Discard these 3. We got 3, 2, and a 1. We're going to redraw the 3. I guess I have Magic Shield. I need to remember that I have Magic Shield. Okay. Redraw the 3 into a 1. Okay. That works. So that's going to be 4th right off this scheme. And then 2 will draw us a card. Into a Desperate Defense. Jocasta will just take this down to 0. She'll take 2 damage. Go down to Wanda. Go Never Back Down in Desperate Defense. Draw 2 cards. Strength and a Spiritual Meditation. Let's go ahead and Spiritual Meditation for a Preemptive Strike and a Hex Bolt. We'll toss the Preemptive Strike. I don't actually know what I'm fishing for at this point. Maybe an ally. Let's go Agatha. Oh, there's Quicksilver, Warp Reality, and an Energy Barrier. The Energy Barrier could also be pretty good, but we do have the money to pay for Quicksilver, so let's go ahead and throw Energy Barrier and Warp Reality onto the bottom. And we'll grab Quicksilver. Strength, Molecular Decay, and a Hex Bolt will pay for Quicksilver, who has Tough. Quicksilver will kill Toad. We're ready? Now we have Superpower Siblings on Turbo with Quicksilver on the table, so that's excellent. And I probably need to heal. I'm at 2 health, so we got Chaos Magic, Spiritual Meditation, Hex Bolt, Molecular Decay, Preemptive Strike, so 2, 4, 5, Magic Shield. So Blob's at 9. We could probably push him with a fairly lucky Molecular Decay. I'm going to heal. We're getting to where we can probably start pushing. I'm scared of what the next villain is going to be. I feel like if it's Pyro, we're in trouble. If it's Pyro, we're in trouble. Okay, so villain phase 2 here. Confused. Victor will scheme for 0. Our encounter card is going to be an advance. Of course it is. So 2 plus 0. Let's go. Nice. That's at 4. We will go Superpower Siblings. We're going to toss a Preemptive Strike. Actually, hold up. First, we're going to do Spiritual Meditation. Draw 2, discard 1. Preemptive Strike. Spiritual Meditation. Draw 2, discard 1. We're going to discard a Magic Shield. We've got an Energy Barrier, a Magic Shield, and then we'll get to draw 3. From Superpower Siblings, there's a Genius, an Energy Barrier, and a Warp Reality. We deck out. We got an Avengers Mansion to draw into a Desperate Defense, and Agatha will look at the top 3. Defensive Energy, Strength, and a Brother Voodoo. We will probably take Brother Voodoo. We could... yeah, we'll take a Brother Voodoo into our hand. And throw Strength and Defensive Energy on the bottom. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cards in our hand. So that's kind of exciting. Now, what we need to do is somehow get this stun off of me. I have 0 I have 1 Magic Shield. I'm wondering if we take the risk. We've passed a gang up. We've passed a... Have we passed the assaults? We have 1 assault left still in the deck. And then we have all the cards where they'll activate against us. We have the minions or the allies to block for us though, so let's flip up. Gotta risk it. We'll attack to knock off this stun. Let's Chaos Magic a Molecular Decay. So when play a card from your hand, ignoring its resource cards, discard cards from the top. So 1, 2, 3. Molecular Decay deals 5 damage to Blob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Discard the top 2. We've got a 2 and a 1. We'll redraw the 1 into a 1. I guess we'll not Scarlet Witch Crest that. So that's going to be an additional 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. He was at 9. We did 5. We will Scarlet Witch, and we'll kill Blob. Avalanche. Okay. That's good. So Avalanche comes in. We have to deal ourselves an encounter card. He has Toughness, Victory 2, and after he attacks you, exhaust an ally you control. Okay. He's a 2/4. Let's have Quicksilver knock this Tough off. And he has 18 hit points. Let's fix that real quick. 18 hit points. Quicksilver comes in with 1 damage. That Tough is gone. I want to... Okay, so there are three things I want to do. I want to play Hexbolt, I want to play Molecular Decay, and I want to play Brother Voodoo. Molecular Decay is priority number 1. We're going to ready Quicksilver with this action just so we can remember that we did that. We have 2, 3, 5 damage minimum. Hexbolt can probably bring in some more. We can Hexbolt. Let's Hexbolt first and see if we can draw into some stuff. So we will Genius to play a Hexbolt. Discard the top 3. So we got 1, 3, nice, and 0. Okay, so the 3 will give a stunned, because Avalanche, his ability triggers even if we are damaged, or even if we are perfect defense. So it's after he attacks, not after he attacks and damages. The 1 will remove 2, and then the 0 will deal 2 damage to Avalanche. 2. I was hoping that we would get a card draw there. If we play Brother Voodoo, we get to draw a card, which means we cannot play Molecular Decay, which... oh, we also have a Quinn. So we could get Brother Voodoo out there, and then we would have a card. We need Molecular Decay, but we're not going to kill him this turn, so we can hang on to a Molecular Decay. And so I think we get Brother Voodoo out. We hang on to a Desperate Defense. So we Quinn Carrier, Energy, Warp Reality, Brother Voodoo. He comes in with Tough. We search the top 5 cards of our deck for an event. Never back down. Hexbolt. No, we can't do Hexbolt right now. We'll just take the Desperate Defense. Because I want the Molecular Decay. I think we need... Oh, yep, thank you. I always do that. Thank you so very much. We're going to be resolving 3 encounter cards, which is also just brutal. Okay, we'll have Quicksilver attack for 2. 1, 2. And Brother Voodoo is going to hang out with his sweet Tough card. So we'll stand up. We're going to toss 1 Desperate Defense. We'll hang on to the other one just in case. We're going to toss the 2nd Desperate Defense because Avalanche is not going to attack, and then Brother Voodoo can take a 2nd attack if we do draw it. If we draw a 3rd attack, then we have Jocasta or Quicksilver that we can have take it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, geez. 6. Oh, no. So I kind of hope he does attack us again so we can start drawing some cards. We got 2 here. Avalanche is stunned. We're going to be resolving 3 encounter cards. Actually, okay, hold up. Technically, we could have Victor. We could defend against a Victor attack with a Desperate Defense. And that would draw us 2 cards. We're going to do that. We're going to defend with Scarlet Witch, Desperate Defense, triggering Unflappable to draw Preemptive Strike and a Spiritual Meditation. I'm looking for damage. That's what I'm doing. And then I guess this Tough gets knocked off and he takes the damage. First card is Immovable. Blob activates against you. If he's not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Blob minion and reveal him. That hurts because Blob has guard. So he comes in. Oh, his Tough guard now. We've got Pyromaniac. Oh, Pyro activates against you. If he's not in play, search the encounter deck. Oh my gosh, for Pyro. No. Where's Pyro? If this is a gang up. Oh no. He's also tough. Brotherhood beatdown. No. No. Avalanche is in play, so we exhaust our identity. Blob, we are stunned. And then Pyro, we take 2 indirect damage. Oh jeez. We'll knock off the Tough with Brother Voodoo. Ouch. Ouch. That hurts. Okay. Not quite sure what to do here. We have to kill Blob. We are stunned. We're exhausted. Avalanche is at 14. Let's Spiritual Meditation. Magic Shield. Magic Shield. That actually saves us a lot of issues. This should be ready. We'll Avengers Mansion to draw into a Molecular Decay. Let's go ahead and have Brother Voodoo knock this tough off. He'll take 1 damage. We're going to use a Quinn Carrier and a... Oh no, I'm stunned. So I can't play Molecular Decay. I guess I could play 2 of them, and that may be where we're at in our life. So if we have Molecular Decay with the Quinn, and we have another Molecular Decay to take out Blob. Pyro is going to be rough. We may just need to roll down. We would lose that main scheme. We could have Jocasta take us down. Oh my gosh. Getting stunned at that point was not what we wanted or needed with our lives. Okay. Okay, let's see. We're here. So we'll use Energy and Quinn Carry to play Molecular Decay, which will knock off this stunned. We'll use Preemptive Strike, Never Back Down, and Preemptive Strike to play Molecular Decay. So 5, discard 2, 2. That will kill Blob. We do deck out, so that's a second acceleration token. Love how epic this scenario is. You feel like you're taking on the whole Brotherhood at once. You really, yeah, you definitely get that feeling. So we're throwing 3 on the main, which would progress before Avalanche schemes and Pyro schemes as well. So we definitely need to take the main down at least some. We could actually take out Pyro because Quicksilver, Jocasta could knock off the tough Quicksilver, and take out Pyro. But then at that point, we don't have any answer for the main scheme. Huh. Interesting. All very interesting. We could stay up. We have 2 magic shields that we can, or 1 magic shield that we could play. Jocasta could just thwart the main. We could leave Pyro at 2. Which, if we defend, we could kill Pyro then. But we're taking the indirect damage regardless. I say we lose the main. Kill Pyro, and then try and go face next turn. We have both of our Molecular Decays, or all of our Molecular Decays in the discard pile, which is unfortunate, but it's where we're at. That does kill Quicksilver, which is very sad. Whew. So many interesting and difficult decisions. We could thwart with Quicksilver. That would put us at 6 onto the main. We could flip down. Avalanche would scheme over, and then we would start the new main with 3. If we draw an advance, we're in a lot of trouble. We lose at that point. If we stay up, we probably survive at least 1 turn. But Pyro is going to deal indirect, which we could just kill Brother Voodoo. We're going to stay up. Magic Shield is going to play a Magic Shield. And we are going to have Quicksilver thwart 1 here. And we'll stand up. We have got Hexbolt, Spiritual Meditation, Preemptive Strike. That could be big, actually. and a strength, and a never back down. The never back down is huge here too. Preemptive strike, never back down. I may never back down this pyro. Infectious zombie. Woo! Off work 6, so you get to jump on a live stream. I hope you're feeling okay. Sorry to hear that you are sick, but happy that you are here. Hopefully, maybe this will make you feel a little bit better, seeing how tight of a situation I'm in. Oof. Alrighty. 3 on the main. Avalanche is attacking for 4. After Avalanche attacks, you exhaust an ally you control. Which we can exhaust Brother Voodoo because Pyro is going to deal the damage here. I'm thinking... we may go crazy here. We may Quinn Carrier and never back down. Play 2 of them. That will stun Avalanche and deal a lot of damage to Avalanche. We're going to do that because that's our damage right now. So let's go ahead and use a Quinn Carrier for a never back down. So we're going to get +2 when we defend. So we're defending at 5. And then we are going to toss a Hex Bolt for a preemptive strike. So we'll flip this up. It'll deal 2. We're going to Scarlet Witch is... no, we're just going to deal the 2 to Avalanche. 1, 2. Electrostatic Armor is 1. Flow Like Water is 1, 2. So down to 9. Pyro is going to attack... oh, unflappable triggers. We get to draw a card into an energy barrier. Pyro is going to attack. We take 0. Then we discard 1, 2. So 2 indirect damage. Oh, Brother Voodoo is exhausted because of Avalanche. We're going to throw the 2 damage onto Brother Voodoo because that also helps get him back in that shuffle. Our bad card is Under Siege. Place 3 threat here for each Brotherhood of Mutant character in play, so that's going to be 6. This is something that we are not going to worry about because we are all out damage mode right now. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is so much fun. Let's go Spiritual Meditation. Hex Bolt. We deck. It's craziness. It's craziness right now. We still have the 2 magic shields as well, so we're fine. Just taking it easy. Scarlet Witch Protection is 1 combo I haven't tried. Interested to see how it finishes up here. It's what's nice about it is you have all the manipulation, so you can pretty much guarantee you're going to be defending perfectly. We got a Warp Reality, which is going to go away. Okay, let's go ahead and Avengers Mansion. Spiritual Meditation. We'll Spiritual Meditation, a Hex Bolt, and a Magic Shield. We have 3 Hex Bolts. That may be the play. Let's toss a Energy Barrier. The Energy Barrier actually could... we're going to hang on to the Energy Barrier. Toss a Magic Shield. Strength. Hex Bolt. Discard a 2. A 2. And a 2. We'll take it. Draw 3 cards. We got a Molecular Decay. Let's go. Defensive Energy. And a Energy Barrier. That was pretty big. I think if we go here for a Hex Bolt, we can probably draw, or we will be able to draw a card, which will allow us to play a second, or Molecular Decay. But if we go the opposite way, we won't be able to play the Hex Bolt. So let's go ahead, toss these 2 for a Hex Bolt. So we got 2, 3, 2. So yeah, we'll draw 2 cards. And we will stun Avalanche. 2 cards we draw are Desperate Defense and another Molecular Decay. So if we can hang out, Well, we could go Hexbolt again. But then we probably are not going to draw into... Now, enemy's gate is down. Let's go. Okay, so Energy Barrier, Hexbolt, Desperate Defense for Molecular Decay. So 5 damage to Avalanche. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot that he's only at 9. Yeah, we're fine. There's 2. There's 1. Scarlet Witch's Crest for 4. So we're good. Okay, for some reason I thought he still had 14. So we're definitely fine there. So yeah. Whoa! Craziness. Crazy encounter. That one, I mean, we just got kind of flooded with the minions, which was fun to see. Which was really fun to see. So I was happy that we were able to do that. That was, oh my gosh, that was tight. That was really, really tight. So that was game 1. The other thing that I kind of like about these expert games is they feel longer, they feel more involved, which is kind of cool. We get to see a little bit more aspects of, that's not the right word, a little bit more of the hero. We get to see how they encounter different situations. And so very, very solid. That was a nail biter, wasn't it? Thank you all. Thank you. We got one more game. That is going to be the leadership game. I'm going to go to the Be Right Back screen. I will see you all in just a couple minutes. Someone, if you have a recommendation of an encounter set that you want to see, go ahead and throw that in the chat, and I will see you all real soon.